everyone, it's your passionate event planner here again, aka Abolodi Feluju. Yes, today we'll be continuing our event planning components. So today we'll be talking about the stakeholders management. We'll be talking about expert guidance and recommendations. We'll be talking about the event flow, the event timeline, the floor plan, amongst other things. So yeah, let's get right into it. So let's start with stakeholders management. Now, who are the stakeholders in an event? The stakeholders are they are those aunties and uncles that that they come around and say, oh, I practically gave birth to the bride. I practically gave birth to the groom. They have a lot of say. Let me put it like that. They have a lot of say for the project. They had a lot of say on the project you're working on with your clients. They might not be, some stakeholders are financiers, some are not even financiers, but they have a lot of say on that event. Yeah. So you have to, as a good event planner, as a professional, you have to carry your stakeholders along as well. The questions you would have asked your clients from the onset of they employing you is that, okay, please, can we know the stakeholders? They will ask you, what do you mean by stakeholders? You tell them that, okay, so we need to know if we would have some people that will bring in their own caterers, that would have their own guests at events. We need to know the uncle or the friend or the cousin that would bring a whole lot of souvenirs for people at the event. We need to know if we have somebody from the family, either extended or within the nuclear family, that would come up and, have our own guest, his or our own guest, that will wear a different ashwebi from the, if she's bringing in her club people, he's bringing in his club people, you understand? So those are the stakeholders during an event. And not only that, we have stakeholders that they're not even loud. You understand? They don't necessarily have to go through all the souvenirs, blah, 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 bring in their club people, bring in their own kiniko. No. They are the silent uncles that, they will drop a lot of money. They drop a lot of money for the event. And they will, if you have an uncle or you have an auntie that is dropping out of your 20 million naira budget wedding, he or she is dropping 5 million naira. He or she is a stakeholder. You have to, sample their opinion as well. Those are your stakeholders. The people that have, they have stake. Let's go layman. That they have a stake in the project. So now, how do you manage your stakeholders? After you've gotten your brief from your clients, you ask the usual question of who are the stakeholders, what am I supposed to expect from them, and blah, blah, blah. They answer you. So you have to include them in your planning. You have to include these stakeholders in your planning. For example, the rich uncle that dropped a lot of money for his niece's or his nephew's wedding has to be asked that, would you like some special, would you like a table reservation? Would you like a table reservation for your own guests? Are you coming? How many guests are you coming with? Would you like to have, would you like this particular area in the hall? You have to be able to work with them and satisfy the stakeholders. So I've spoken from the angle of the monetary stakeholder like that. Now let me talk from the angle of stakeholders like these aunties. Not necessarily money, might not necessarily be money, but he or she has a say on the bride, on the groom, on the wedding generally. You didn't carry this auntie along. Now you've done your own mapping out of the whole venue, done your rehearsals with your vendor, done this, done that, and then you're coming out correct that day. Because you guys are working from the back end, nobody really knows your modus operandi. You're just doing your thing. And then somebody sees one table and calls one auntie that is stakeholder and says, Oh, till serve table, meaning they've not served this our own table. And then she goes to the serving points, one of the serving points, and she says, now, you, this server, follow me. Meanwhile, server has been attached to, they have their own workforce. They've been attached to their own, they have their own group. The server knows where it's going to. The server has tables, is waiting on. Do you understand? That picks that waiter away from there. And maybe that waiter is one boy that is standing his ground, or one girl that is standing her ground and saying, no, sorry ma, I know where I'm going to. I have to finish my table. Sorry ma. She can just, change everything and say, oh yeah, everybody close this till, everything can just, you can have chaos on your hands. And if from the onset, you've already informed this auntie, you've told her, you've included her in your discussions. You've included her in your discussions. You've told this auntie that, okay, now, auntie, so, you've done meetings with them. Auntie, so, this is what we are going to be doing. This is what we are going to be doing. This is how we are going to be. This is how we are going to be doing. This is how we are going to be rolling out food. This is how we are going to be rolling out drinks. Before the alcohol comes, the kinikon. Before the kinikon comes, you know how we event planners do now. So you've done all that. You've informed her. So somebody pulling her from that table calls her and says, come, this table, we've not had food here. We don't have drinks. She says, so, that stakeholder, that aunt that is the stakeholder, that would tell them that, oh, you know what, just give us some minutes to get to you. Then she might, you know how Oninowo used to do, she might go and say, what is wrong? What's going on? She won't cause chaos because she's in the know. She knows how you guys are going about your work. You've told her about the modus operandi, so that helps you as an event planner to have a seamless event. You have everything going on smooth. Nobody is harassing them at the food points. Nobody's harassing them at the drinks point. Everything is just going pam, 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 pam. And then everybody knows that, oh, there's definitely an event planner at this event that is coordinating things well. So yes, you have to really carry your stakeholders along. You have to know, how do I put it? You have to know how to carry them along. Now, the management of stakeholders is not about carrying them along alone. It is about balancing too. Now, you have a bride telling you that I don't want what my mom-in-law wants to do at my wedding. Would you just go and tell the mom-in-law and say, excuse me, ma, your wife, your bride, your in-law said that this and this. No, you're not applying wisdom like that. It doesn't work like that. Trust me, if you try that, you're not getting business from that family again. You're not getting business from that family ever again. In fact, like anybody coming from that family, not only in that family, you're not getting it, because you have to be smart. You have to apply wisdom when you're dealing with stakeholders. You have to, and your job also is to balance things, to make sure everybody goes home happy. From your own experience, the bride is getting married for the first and only time. You have gotten married, let me use that word, you've gotten married like countless times, because when you're planning an event, you put yourself in the shoes of the person you're planning for. It means you're owning the event. You understand? You're just not financing it. So you've done this over and over again. So you know that, okay, in this situation, this is what works. And say for example now, the bride is saying that I don't want some people to bring in different souvenirs. This one will say, I'm giving it to just this set of people. That one will say, I'm giving it to that set. I don't want things like that at my wedding. I want everybody to be happy. If you're going to give souvenir, give to everybody. If you're not going to give to everybody, don't bring it. You understand? But when you're balanced, some people would still feel, Chief Mrs. Kinikon did for my own daughter's wedding. I have to buy this, at least this towel for our own group in church. I have to, give these souvenirs to them so that they will know that one lane. You understand? So in that kind of situation, the best thing you can do as an event planner is to make sure you have a gift corner. You understand? So when you have a gift corner, you are going to still satisfy them. You have your gift corner. People are the people that you've planned it from the onset alongside the invitation card, or maybe wherever they are seated. You've given them the tag to take to the to the gift stand whenever they are leaving to take. So you know what gifts belongs to which group. You understand? So in that way, the bride is not seeing all that happenings. Some group getting souvenirs and some are not getting. While she's on the stage and she's being unhappy on her day, you don't want to have an unhappy bride on your hands. So yes, you can, as an event planner, that kind of thing solves the whole situation. Chief Mrs. Blah 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 is going home happy. The person that brought souvenir for their group in church is going home happy. She achieved her aim. The bride too goes home happy. So as an event planner, you should know how to manage your stakeholders. You should have that. Then you should be a people's person. I keep saying this. I understand some people might say, oh, it's not necessary for you to be a people's person, but this job, you need to be a people's person. You need to be able to read the room. You need to be able to read, you need to be able to read the people you're dealing with. You need to be able to know what works with them, what works for them. You understand? If you're already suggesting, oh, let's have a general kind of seating arrangement for a family that one family is, they're not, how do I put it? One family, rather, let me say the two families, they're big in the society. I'm sorry for using that word big, but nothing is coming to head at the moment. But let's just say that the two family, they have crowd. They're both, well-known people in that town. And then you as an event planner, you're not suggesting, let us have a general type of seating. No, it doesn't work. Because people might start fighting, especially if you've advised them from the onset that, oh, this type of oil is going to be better for you, it's going to accommodate your guests, number of guests here, and they're saying, oh, no, you know what, this one is closer to church, please let's use this one. We don't want to go through traffic, and you've gone through all that, and then they are still insisting on using the particular. It's best you demarcate, especially for those type of families, because at the end of the day, if you don't do it like that, some family, usually it's always the bride's family, they go into the groom's family, and then the groom's family sometimes are left standing, and then they don't have where to sit. So you have to, like I was saying, you have to be able to read the room. You have to know what to say. You have to know what to advise when you're doing your stakeholders meeting, when you're trying to manage them. You have to be able to know what to say as an event planner. So not only about managing them, not only about what was it I said earlier on, not only about advising them or managing the situation, or including them too. Sometimes, well, this is a little bit selfish. Sometimes you need to be able to fan their ego. Stakeholders, you need to be able to fan their ego sometimes, so that when next there's another event in that family, they will say, that event planner, she is the best. Oh, no. It's to your own benefit as an event planner. So yes, of course, from everything that I've been saying since the past episodes, you should know that not only about fanning ego, it's about delivering. You should deliver first. Number one thing, whatever comes first, whatever comes next, but you have to be able to deliver whatever it is you've promised. So yes, stakeholders management. Now, I think I've spoken about expert guidance and recommendation a little bit from my example of the souvenir issue. Yes, so we have the expert guidance and recommendation. In this case, you have people that you're planning both families. You have probably, let's say, weddings, for example. I keep saying weddings. I love weddings. Actually, I keep using the wedding events as an example because I really, really love weddings. Who doesn't like romance? Anyway, so You have a family from the bride's family. The bride's family is the firstborn. The groom's family. I mean, the bride is the firstborn from her family. The groom is the firstborn from his family as well. They've never had any party in recent times. Of course, their parents got married, and it's been a while. Maybe the cousins too. They are like the first set of people so they really don't know what is working anymore in the events industry. They really don't know anything. So it is your own duty as an event planner to guide them well. You get. It is easy for them to see everything on Instagram, on Twitter, on Google Ads, all these things. It is easy for them to say, oh, I want this, I want that. It is easy for them to get confused. It is easy for them to want to, not being coordinated. You get. And sometimes clients don't even know what they want. So this is where you come in. And then when you hear from them, you can say, oh, no. Oh, so I think this is what you like. By the time you suggest that, they say, yeah, oh, yeah, you get it. Oh, wow, you know what you're doing. You understand? So it is your job to guide them expertly, to give them advice. Then you can recommend as well for them. Say, for example, a bride does not, her skin is not glowing. You can recommend that, oh, you know what, just take water, take oranges, make sure you're hydrated. You don't necessarily have to start breaking the bank to do this. You can just recommend things that you've used over time and it worked for you. You can recommend it to them, and then it eases the planning process for both you and for them as well. So yes, you can expertly guide them and then recommend things. Vendors, and suggest to them. So it is part of your job. Everything concerning the project during a planning process is your job. It's your responsibility. You have to know about it. When we are given a free hand to plan our WNL events, when our clients gives us that free hand to plan that, oh, you know what, please just make sure, I just want to have these. I don't know anything. We go as far as helping them plan the underwear, helping a bride plan the underwear she's going to be wearing on her wedding day. Yes, it is. We go as far as that. You understand? So we help them with all that. So it is usually good because it is seamless for both you and for both them. Because imagine a bride had chosen a particular hair. Say, for example, the style she wants to do for hair now. She wants to do hair, and then she wants to do like a bridal hair that is going to get wrapped. Is going to be wrapped. Is going to be pinned on her hair, and then she has gone ahead to buy a bone straight weave. That's not possible. You understand? And then she comes, and then your vendor that you've already sourced for hair is saying that, oh, please make sure this is, and then you tell her that, oh, yes, this is what we want to use. And then she starts, how am I going to start? Oh, I've used money to buy bone straight. Oh, you get it? So if you've done that from the onset, you've told her, you've advised, you've told her, oh, no, this is the type of weave you should use, you should buy, because this is what is going to make you achieve the style you want. You get it? You both of you won't go through the stress of trying to now pack things up. Okay, you know what? Why don't you do ponytail instead? No, you don't. I mean, she doesn't want to do ponytail for her wedding. She wanted a proper bridal wrapped, packed hair. So yes, it is always good to guide them and recommend things for them. Now, after you've done all your homework like that, you've gone through your own back office things, you've made sure that everything is in place, you've how do I put it, you've done the budget, the theme, the sourcing, the vendor sourcing, the stakeholders management, you've done the guidance and everything. What next? Yeah, you do your vendors, you're going into your event coordination. Now, before you go into your event coordination, what are the things that will help you coordinate your events, that will help you in coordinating the event successfully, that will give you an overall success at event coordination? They are your event flow, your event timeline, your floor plan, and then your on-day coordination materials. Those 4 things are very, very important in you achieving a very good and well-coordinated event. So now, what do we mean by event flow? Your event flow is basically how it sounds, how the event is flowing. You get the program of things. You understand? So sometimes, let's say program of things, where the event is going to start from, how it's going to progress, what everybody is going to be doing per time, and how it's going to, end. That is what your event flow means. Your event flow, you should have spoken to your event flow. Usually when we prepare the event flow document at WNL events, what we do is that we send it as proposed event flow. It is not our event at the end of the day. Don't forget, I keep reminding you that it is not your event, it is your event client. When they give you the brief, make sure that you don't impose, you advise. You don't impose, you advise. So you'd have given the proposed event flow to the client, and then the client tells you that, oh, you know what, remove this. I don't like this type of bridal entry. Okay, make sure we have it like this. Why don't you do this to this? But so you guys, you communicate on that. You negotiate sometimes. Why did I say you negotiate? You negotiate because sometimes, as an event planner, as a creative, there's this way I would have envisioned how the event would go in my head before I start it. You understand? So sometimes the bride now comes and says, oh no, and I'm like, why don't you let's do it like this? Okay, you know what, let me let you into what I'm thinking. This is how I think. You're negotiating for your own creativity to come to life. You understand? So, but if your bride or your client is adamant on, no, I don't want it, she doesn't want it, he doesn't want it, you have to go with whatever they want. Please don't always forget that it is their own event. So yes, your event flow is when the flow of events, the flow of program, how the program would go from top to bottom. That is how it is. Now, then, how do you achieve the event flow going according to plan? It is by timing everything, timing all actions. That is what we call the event timeline. The event timeline is where you have it. You have everybody given a time. I don't know if you remember that we've spoken about this earlier on in the first episode. Yes, we spoke about the event timeline, that each vendor should have been given their time. Say, for example, now, you don't just leave it open for a makeup artist to just keep doing. No, you give everybody their time. I give you 1 hour, I give you 2 hours. And you have to be realistic with the time as well. You cannot just say, I give you 30 minutes to work on a bride. You want to have a sweaty, oily bride on your hand. No. So you have to be realistic with your time. Like I keep saying, experience, you have to work like a professional. What makes you a professional? Being experienced. So yes, you have to be realistic with the time. You have to give them the time. Time everybody. We're all human beings. If you give us a free hand, we just do it as we like it. You understand? There has to be rules. There has to be guidelines. So one of the guidelines of the event, of having an overall successful event, is having a timeline and everybody adhering to that. So now you've given the makeup artist the time, you've given the photographer the time, you've given the driver the time, transit time to get to church. You've given, everybody as they have their time. The MC knows that is cracking jokes for just 5 minutes during this interlude. And what is that 5 minutes giving us? It is for us to take a breather from the emotional moment. It's for us to take a breather from speech. Maybe it is a funeral. The MC is going to, you've given the MC to talk about, or let's say to just give room for discussions, give room for something, just to, just to have a breather of maybe an intense moment during an event. So yes, you've given an MC so number of minutes, so number of hours to do this. You've given the band so number of hours to play. You've told them that what time they are starting, their call-up time is this, they're ending this. You've told the DJ you're picking it up at this time. It helps everybody know what they're doing. Even if the bride is yet to get to the venue, the bride and the groom, if they are yet to get to the venue, they know that, okay, this is what they are observing. Oh, they are observing a cocktail hour at this moment. Gives everybody a know of what is going on at the event. It makes everybody to be abreast of things. You know that, okay, after the cocktail hour, this is what next we are doing. It even helps your next vendor that is coming up knows that, okay, for example now, a small chops vendor knows that, oh, we're supposed to start serving at so time. So now, 30 minutes to the event, or let's say like 40 or 1 hour, mix your puff-puff. Then they know they have to start frying before this time, because they know that they have to start serving at this time. So it's not when they have to start serving that they will start frying. No, they should have started frying. Yes, it's still going to be hot. They should have started frying maybe about 20-30 minutes before the time, and then it's really not and really not. So it makes you to be on point when you time your event. Now you have your on-day coordination materials. Oh yes, we've not spoken about the floor plan. The floor plan. Architects do use this. Yes, I think they use that term in their field too. Floor plan. The floor plan is the layout, the event layout, the seating arrangement, the stands where each vendor is going to stand, where the stage is meant to be positioned, where the number I mean, how would I put it? The length of space the band is meant to stay, the number of tables, the number of chairs, the outlay generally of the event, how it's going to look like. You get? So we have different event planners have tried to spice this thing up over time. Some people would, go ahead as far as using 3D to draw their floor plan, and it's always so. Event is really beautiful. Event planning and management is so beautiful. It gets people creative, and then there's this dynamics to it that everybody can do what they want to do to it, and then they can spice it up, they can make it beautiful, they can, come up with things. It gives room for that. It gives room for creatives. So yes, I love events. Don't mind me. I get carried away sometimes when I'm talking about that. So yes, as I was saying, floor plan, sometimes some people have over time made it beautiful. Some people will go as far as having drawings, like drawings of the clients, how the whole place is going to look like. But basically what it is meant to do, what it is telling you, what the floor plan is meant to do is to let you know how the event is going to look like. You get? Are we going to have round tables to the side? Are we going to have the couples friends corner? Are we going to have the VIP tables? Are we going to have a lounge setting? So it gives you an idea, and then it helps you as well as the event planner to communicate things to your vendors. Let me put it like that. Your vendors would know that, okay, we are meant to stay here, we are meant to stay there. After having drawn your floor plan, everybody knows where they are meant to stay. Sometimes we have vendors fighting at events where we have a caterer might say, oh, my stand is there. I have to serve this. I have to serve this. I have to serve that. And then probably the dessert person comes and says, oh, I have to do this. I have to do that. So when you're drawing your floor plan as well, what you need to put into consideration is people. So let's talk about it like this. For example, now the couple they're saying that they have some type of cuisine, they have some type of drink for their friends. So you've drawn it. When you're drawing your floor plan, you know that you have to have a couples friends corner. Not only do you have to have a couples friends corner, you also have to make sure that their vendors, the special type of food and drinks and co, their vendors are in that quadrant of the hall. They are in that quadrant of the hall. Probably you've divided the hall into 4 quadrants. You have to give them that quadrant. All their vendors have to be in there. They have to be close to the place, because I cannot imagine the couples friends corner being on my right hand side like this, and then the vendor is on the left hand side of the hall, and then the vendor is now bringing in the things, passing other guests, and then bringing it into here, into this quadrant. What would that do? That would scream favoritism. That would scream favoritism. It would say, oh, so some people are important more than us. Some people are, of course, we always have some people that are more important than some people. That's just how the world is. But you don't need to scream it in people's face. You don't need to, put it in people's face that, you're not as important as this person. So you understand what I'm trying to say. So in order to avoid that, just put them where they are. Whoever it is wants to give, just put them in that corner, and then let them serve things. So yes, your floor plan is very, very important. It is also important because, aside that, let me just say, it helps your overall coordination. It helps your sitting charts. It helps your with the food coordination, drinks coordination. It helps, at the end of the day, sometimes it helps the vibes. Why did I say that? Imagine the couple not sitting close to, the couple's friends not sitting close to the couple. They're not anywhere where their friends can see them from the stage. And then there's nobody to hype them up from, hey, give it to her, kiss her well, kiss him well, hold her well. There's no vibes like that from that corner of the hall, because they're so far apart from each other. So sometimes the bride might get bored or the groom might get bored. So if you're not careful, you might have that. So your floor plan at the end of the day is very important as well. You have your on-day coordination materials. Yes, your on-day coordination materials. So now this is not a one-size-fits-all. Your on-day coordination materials differs. For large events, for events, let's say for corporate event like concerts and co, one of your coordination your coordination materials might be this electric, will I say door? What's the word? That thing that you have to put, maybe you have to scan the barcode or something. You have to put something to give you access. These entry points and all these doors, all these access things that I'm talking about. Yes, so for that kind, you don't need that kind for like a wedding of how many guests, except your clients want it. So that's the beautiful thing about events too. Whatever it is your clients want, you make it work. So yeah, except your clients want it. Because I think, yes, we had a wedding in 2021. Yes, 2021. And yes, we had that access thing. We had it at the entrance. You don't have access card, you're not entering. So meanwhile, some other weddings, it's just going to be bouncers. You understand? So those are coordination materials. Those are what helps you, because that type of wedding, they have different classes of guests. You have the VV, VIP, you have the VIP. You catch my drift. You understand what I'm trying to say. So yeah, different coordination materials differs. Coordination materials can be your wristbands. Coordination materials can be your walkie-talkies. Yes, it helps you coordinate things well. You're far off from your coordinator, and then you can see something is somebody, maybe the MC is straying from whatever it is you've told him or her to do, whatever the event flow has said. They're straying, and then where they are straying to, sometimes when they stray, it's good. because they spice things up. You understand? But sometimes when they stray, and it has been maybe what has been discussed with you, the client has discussed it with you that, see, I don't want these kind of things to be said at my wedding. I've had a bride tell me before that, I don't want anybody to tell me, hold your bum bum, I don't want all those profanities at my wedding. You get? So I mean, during a traditional wedding, so we had already spoken to the alaga. So imagine the alaga now going ahead to say something like that, and then you can't run. I mean, everybody will just be looking at you like, is something wrong? And you know, in Nigeria now, people don't even look at what is chasing the other person. If they see somebody run, everybody too will just stand up and start running. God forbid we have that during an event. You understand? So instead of you running, you get, and you can't walk. If you walk too slowly or you walk you might not get there on time to tell the alaga iduro that what you're saying is wrong. But you have a coordinator close to that side. You just radio the coordinator, tell the alaga to stop whatever it is she's saying. She should not stray from the event flow as from now on. You understand? So that is also your coordination material. It has helped you to coordinate the event, how it is meant to go. So yes, you have different types of coordination materials. So your coordination materials, those are the things, your table tags, your table numbers, those are the things that will help you to have a well-coordinated event that would help you that will help the event go according to plan, go according to how you've planned it and how you've envisioned. Okay, so you know what? Coordinators, yeah, we might be talking about it in the next episode. So please don't forget to click on the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share it. If you find this beautiful enough for you to, share, you find it educative enough for you to share, please share it with your friends and family. Please follow us, like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.